Oh, golly, darling, I do hope I haven't made you late.
Oh, don't worry, darling. Apparently there's some sort of new-fangled express service that starts this morning. I should be fine. Mwah.
It'll be the non-stopping service then.
Welcome to Scrapheap Challenge, where junk is magically transformed into jewels in our giant laboratory of mechanical alchemy.
This week, we're running on rails as our teams build sleds to go as fast as they can on our special test track. But these won't be any ordinary trains. The twist is we're not allowing them to send power to their wheels. That means they'll need to find an alternative path for propulsion. For this Daredevil challenge, we've taken inspiration from the awesome supersonic rocket sleds that were pioneered by the US Air Force. As a whale for a porpoise or a tank for a turtle, they can make it. Diving into the scavenge is Wally, with watertight support from Nutty. With leadership courtesy of Lottie, it's a pleasure to welcome back the aquarium crew.
Welcome, teams. Now, I'm sure you all love the railways, the rhythms, the romance, the relaxation. Well, you can forget all that, because we want you to build skin-stretchingly fast super rail sleds.
Rail sleds? Brilliant.
But it's your brains that'll be stretched first, because you're strictly forbidden from putting drive through to the rails. If that wasn't enough, you have just 10 tiny hours to pull it off.
OK, teams,
make a lot of hot air. His pride and joy is his jet-powered granny car that does a hair-whitening 60 miles an hour. So clear the supermarket aisles for expert Nick Haywood.
Morning. I'm your expert.
I'm
Nick.
Lottie.
Right then, guys. What have you come up with?
Well, we came up with a knocking the top off an acetylene bottle.
You can sit on it and have a go at that one. What about burning fuel to create energy?
Well, none of us knows anything about rockets.
What about jet engine?
Yeah,
know loads about
likewise.
Yeah?
Loads about this.
I've got a rough idea of what we could do, yeah.
Brilliant.
How does it work?
Suck a load of air in at the front, burn a load of fuel, throw the whole lot out the back as fast as we can.
Fantastic.
With a huge almighty afterburner on the back.
Yeah.
Get a lot more power out of it that way.
Yep, you heard right. They're going to build a jet engine out of scrap. Once they've got the lightest possible rolling chassis, the aquarium crew are going to mount the simplest possible jet engine. This will be a set of tubes in which compressed air and fuel is mixed and burned. The exhaust then exits with such force that it sends them flying forwards. This should be loud and dramatic, but its complexity could lead to a deafening silence.
Uh-oh.
Lots of fire,
Lots of thrust.
lots of thrust.
Boosting the Brum Brum's bid for glory is a Scrapheap stalwart. As an aeronautical engineer, his work is put to the test using rocket sleds, so he could be just the man to make the Brummies fly. Welcome back, expert Jem Stansfield.
So, what have you got?
Well,
Prop powered?
prop powered we're thinking about. I don't know. What's your views? What do you think?
Have you ever seen a fireman and a fire pump?
Water powered.
I've messed around with fire pumps, and when you turn the thing on, even like a big fat fireman, they're knocked backwards. And it works for jet skis. It works for jet boats. It works for kids' little pop bottle rockets.
That's a lot of water.
It is a lot of water.
It's a lot of weight to start moving in the first place. That's what I'm thinking.
I see where he's coming from.
Well, it's just
I
like,
can understand.
It's just like a jet engine, but it's just pushed by water.
That's right.
it is.
Derek is spot on. Jem's water jet idea works on the same principle.
It all helps.
Sorted?
Yep.
Know what we need?
Absolutely.
Right, go
We're
get
on
it.
Off you go then.
They're off faster than a speeding jet.
which reminds me, I must jet wash my car.
So to find out which team gets the most thrust,
And how shiny I get my car.
join us after the break.
Welcome back to Scrapheap Challenge, where 2 rail-running super sleds are being built from scratch.
But with driven axles strictly forbidden, our team's brains have gone all mushy.
But they are on the right track by copying the super-fast US Air Force rocket sleds that use thrust to reach crazy speeds.
Can we not just throw it?
Clueless at first, the West Country's aquarium crew got excited when Cheltenham's Nick Hayward suggested a jet engine, complete with fire-breathing afterburner, to power their lightweight rail rider.
Normal day, I'm going to build a jet engine.
Yeah, as you do.
Birmingham's Brums were more down to earth, agreeing to build their expert Jem's idea of a train powered purely by a jet of water. The 3 mechanics were worried about the weight, but now they're well underway, steaming into the scavenge.
That's a pump.
Hey, come and have a look at this. What's this?
Oh, lovely job, Liz. Just what we wanted.
Looks like those Brum boys have actually found train wheels, Lise. It's a bit quick.
Isn't it?
What a jet.
Do you want to pull the quad up?
That looks nice. That's very light.
Yes, lovely and light.
So what, you'll have to get an engine that powers that?
Yeah.
And then that will pump water, what, that you just squirt water out the back of it?
Squirt water out the back.
And it will be squirting it out at some pressure then, presumably, some force.
Bit like rocket power, but with
Right,
water.
with water.
That's the theory.
Is that the theory?
That's the theory.
All right, guys, well, I'll let you get on. You've got plenty to do.
See you
Okay,
later.
cheers, Rob.
Well, you know, I built one of those rockets that you pump up with air and the water and it goes poof, and it went really high. That was a very small plastic bottle, not a huge 3.5-ton train. But never mind, I'm sure it'll work.
Be nice if the sun comes out now.
So the Brummies are upbeat. But no one gets excited by scrap quite like the aquarium crew.
It's Christmas on the heap. Isn't it? You reckon on that? Yeah. That's fantastic, isn't it?
Oh, that's good, because, I mean, obviously, building a jet engine is precision engineering. It's really important that the tubes are absolutely perfectly formed.
So they went medieval and built a colossal underarm trebuchet. When it came to the test, they struggled right up to the final throw.
Good.
But the gamble of putting all their ballast on board paid off big time.
Oh, look at that! Look at that! Yeah! Well done. We did it! You reckon on that, Paul? I think that is splendid.
Nutty, Wally, welcome back
Hello.
to the heap.
Thank you very much.
Now, what have you got there?
A turbocharger. Now this is going to form the intake of the air, so we're going to suck the air in through there and drive it down into the chamber where the fuel's combusted.
Well, we're going to introduce some more fuel, aren't we?
Yeah.
Is that the plan?
That's the plan, in an afterburner, because just a normal jet engine wouldn't be enough.
So that's
simple.
It's not really rocket science being built in a scrap heap.
No.
A big old truck turbo is sure to boost this much more high-tech build. But really what these wags from Weymouth need is some super light framework and free-running wheels to get their chassis rolling.
Oh, got a couple of wheels, Paul.
Excellent. It's like Kaplunk.
I used to love Kaplunk.
Mate, they're lovely. As light as you like, those. Really nice. Fantastic. We need more of those.
2 more of those.
Or something similar anyway.
Oh, there's some more wheels. Ah, the Brums already have a full set.
You look out for some box sections.
You got that one?
That's what we're looking for now. It's just the deck's having war out here at the moment. Have a set of wheels.
Fair enough then.
No! Oh man, where's their trolley? I'll get something else.
The wheels may be lost, but Wally has managed to retreat home with a few scavenged morsels.
We're on a right old frat.
So you feeling? Would you be willing to hand over?
Depends what's in for us.
Mo,
Come in.
get the engine crane ready.
Okay.
By the door.
We're in a bit of a hurry. We've got to get the engine hoist ready.
Shall I just take these
Grab
then?
the wheels.
carry on.
Go.
Oh, God bless you.
No
Thank
worries,
you.
Charlotte. Enjoy travelling on them.
Here comes our baby.
Is that big enough?
Yeah. Too big. How much do you reckon that weighs?
It's got to be close on the top.
And ton of water.
It's heavy, but it's good.
Okay, jack it up.
With a guesstimated final weight of over 2 tons, the chassis that supports all the mechanics plus the water will need to be strong, adding even more weight.
Do you think we're going to need somebody in there like that to stop it twisting?
Yeah, we can do that.
Oh, nasty.
What a lovely day. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Oh, those brum-brums are on the case today.
Perhaps being from Birmingham, they like the rain.
I think this weather, you know, they think we're in the West Midlands, we're all right now.
He's like a proper engineer, you know?
It does look like we're heading for a scrap classic, though. We've got extremely simple, you know, huge tank of water with big pumps, squirts water out, goes long track, versus
really, really complicated, difficult builds.
Yes.
I mean, light, precision engineering.
Yeah.
But to be fair to them, if they do manage to pull it off,
Yeah.
potentially.
could literally be a rocket train that we just see some smoke and off it goes like a bullet.
What do you reckon on that?
Cool. What have you got?
A ready-made framelit, ready-made trolley. It's heavier than I thought, that.
What a result for the aquarium crew. That light D trailer will save them valuable chassis building time.
You notice I've left the mud guards on just to look nice.
Yeah.
But with that complex jet engine build ahead, they'll need it.
What do you reckon, Nick? Can you see yourself on
It's
that?
got jet written all over it.
All this talk of jets and
Brum solution
Yeah.
and carrying all the water that they need. But of course, with their solution, the weight decreases as it gets down the track.
Ah, because they're using up the water,
Because
yeah,
it's
right.
converting
I
the
see.
mass into energy as,
Yeah.
as it effectively...
So if they can get moving, they're just going to keep moving faster, aren't they?
Yes.
Because the weight's going down all the time they move.
Yes.
That's going to be some weight, isn't it?
Proper ways.
So at this stage of the game, just say you had to put your 50p on one team.
I'd go for the aquarium crew at this stage.
You would?
Purely because they can make theirs so much lighter. That helps with all the other resistances. Assuming all the other systems work and they get the thrust that they're expecting to get, then of course, you know, they're onto an advantage.
So, the judge has confidence in the aquarium crew design. But with so many tricky tasks to complete, it's the team that needs to keep confidence in themselves.
All right, okay.
Hello,
That makes
aquarium
sense.
crew.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it all going?
Great, yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
That does look fantastic. What is it? What is that?
That is the afterburner.
That's going to hang over the back about halfway, that.
We've got lots of flames coming out.
Hopefully,
Very dramatic.
Yeah, that's going to be the exciting bit.
And I'm guessing Nick and Nutty are working on
The
the...
fuel pump. Is that right? Is that the fuel pump? And that's going to be mounted first,
know,
and
I
that will determine
lost
where everything
track.
else goes.
It sounds to me like you're having to really have confidence in your experts.
Yeah. Nick is so confident and so convinced that it's a simple, doable thing, and we're there.
Brilliant. Well, get stuck in.
Thank
Keep
you,
the
Lisa.
confidence up,
Thank
Lottie.
you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Right.
There's no confidence problems for Nick and Nutty as they plan their multi-purpose pumping machine.
Yeah, that's probably the best one to use for the oil.
Okay.
Sit somewhere around about there.
Yep. And this fella's doing the
that one's
fuel
just-
for the afterburner.
Yeah, literally just pumping loads of fuel straight in.
Right.
Both belt driven and off we go.
Okay.
Assembling that pump rig will keep Nutty quiet for hours. But so far, it's still going to the rather complicated plan.
Decker? Yeah. I've got the other pump.
Finding another pump is a big bonus for the Brums, but it could also spell double trouble.
You're going to be a He-Man, are you?
No, I was just going to pass it to you.
Accommodating 2 pumps in their layout could mean changing design and finding extra components.
Right.
With just the one pump, the Brums could have used a transverse engine layout, a bit like a front-wheel drive car. But they can't resist the extra oomph 2 pumps will give. The problem is they now need a transfer box or differential to split the drive in 2.
Yeah, look. Definitely what we need, Cliff.
Crafting that multi-purpose pumping device and is ready for a test fire.
It's good. Distributor's working.
Jet expert Nick is honing a flange that will join the turbo onto the combustion chamber. But first, Lottie must make that flame tube.
A masterclass in welding.
You want to get moving closer with the gun.
No, I can't do this.
Lottie may be short of practical jet building skills, But like a good captain, she does understand the bigger picture.
That looks like some sort of baffle.
That's the combustion chamber. That goes inside that fire extinguisher.
Right.
And basically that's where the fuel burns. And the gaps are for the air to get in.
The flame tube is designed to limit the heat of combustion and prevent total meltdown. It's made of 3 separate tubes joined by strips to create holes at precise intervals. These allow just the right amount of air in to mix with the fuel. When the spark plug detonates the mix, it burns and escapes as exhaust gas, creating thrust. Wally's begun to grasp the concept, or so he thought.
That doesn't look as pretty as I thought it was going to look.
No.
Nick, how's that, mate? Is that looking good?
That one a bit more.
No.
Rubbish, isn't it?
Right, hang on a minute. If you can get it back somewhere near round again.
Yeah.
It's got to keep going all the way round so the air goes in that way everywhere.
Right, I'm with you.
And that should work a treat.
So what, one
A small mistake, but the fish tank builders will easily recover.
But if you can get the bigger one in.
However, next door, after a productive scavenge, the Brummy Bodgers have downed tools for debate.
You can see this is a crucial moment in the build.
Arguing with this last.
So what's the issue now? Is it just how you connect engine
Well, we've got to
to-
mount this.
Right.
Then we
Newton's third law of physics.
We're getting nowhere.
well, we need to suss this here. How are we going to weld it?
For now, it's the law of build action that has to be obeyed. 3 universal joints are needed to connect the transfer box from the engine to the 2 pumps, and they'll need to be strong.
Proper piss, that is.
Now, James, we're just over halfway through the build, and it looks like they're pretty neck and neck. I can't see that one team is way ahead.
Well, the Brum Brums, now they've got their engine in a relatively small frame.
Yeah,
Still don't have a tank. They still don't have the nozzles, and of course the nozzle is a key part of their design. Whereby I believe that the aquarium crew have probably got most of what they need, barring small items, sort of thing that can be scavenged from anywhere, really.
But the Brum Brums may get a wonderful surprise when it actually moves, if it actually moves. I mean, that's the...
I'm sure it will move.
You
I'm
think it will?
absolutely convinced it will move.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to have to put some sort of lever on there, as long as you can sit in the front and just about reach it.
The aquarium crew, of course, has a huge plumbing nightmare in that they've got to make up all the flanges and the pipe work in order to join all the various components together.
Right. And what about your 50p? Is it still safely with the aquarium crew, James?
No, I think it's moved slightly across at the moment, purely because of the Brum Brums machine is by far the simpler.
So you think we'll get movement through water squirtage?
Certainly, yeah.
I wish I could convince the team.
They probably won't.
I think they're the
think it.
least confident of anyone here.
No, don't push, man.
I am pushing.
As the Brummies battle to mount their first pump, their expert Jem is struggling to cope with his team's lack of faith.
No, not across, diagonal.
Diagonal.
I think the team don't actually believe it's going to work.
That arrow has got to go dead in line with the middle of that shaft.
The level of their conviction that it's not going to work is chipping away at all the scientific knowledge I've amassed over the years.
You can't do it like that, can you? You've got to have it like that.
It's got to work now. It's so got to work. Otherwise, it's going to be one of the 1930s style movies with me strapped to the tracks and them kind of pushing it over me. I don't want that to happen.
Look how far it's out.
Miles out, mate.
What a stupid big hammer.
Derek's hit it with a hammer approach to engineering can be effective, but he's a big man, and those are scrapheap welds.
No.
I think I might need a top up, barman.
Since the Second World War, rocket sleds have been riding the rails faster and faster in order to test the highly stressed components of both aeroplanes and spacecraft. In 1954, this US Air Force physician became the fastest man on Earth by riding a rocket sled at 632 miles an hour. He then experimented with G-force, surviving an amazing 40 Gs during sudden braking. This technology reached its zenith in 2003 when an unmanned rocket sled clocked an eye-watering 6,400 miles an hour, becoming the fastest ever object on Earth. We may not see anything quite that fast this week, but you never know. It's the Brum Brums who have a need for speed now, and Derek has found a beefy sprinkler nozzle that may boost their build as well as his belief.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
And the beauty that Cliff is beholding is an old oil storage tank.
Hope you're feeling strong, son.
Why is it? It can't be that heavy.
Wouldn't bank any.
That tank's 1,000 litre capacity should keep their thirsty thruster going.
Unlike the Brumbrums, Weymouth's aquarium crew don't doubt their expert. And perhaps it's not just because he's the only jet builder in the team. In the last hour, expert Nick has turned a fire extinguisher into a reservoir to hold the oil that cools the turbo. He's mounted and connected the pump rig onto the train chassis.
Yeah, that'll work.
And he's made the fuel pipes needed that'll feed the combustion chamber that's being made by Wally and Lottie.
Any good?
I reckon it will be, yeah.
We finished this, spark plug's going to come through here, and we've just got that. You want that tacked on?
Yeah, just give that a quick grind,
Yeah.
shove it in and make sure it doesn't just kink over offset.
Aquarium crew,
Yeah.
can I have your attention please? You have 2 hours build time remaining.
Flames in 2.
Flames in 2 hours.
Okay, no problem.
Good evening, Brumbrums. 2 hours, is that okay? You need 3. I'm sorry, I can't stretch it to that. I can probably give you 2 hours and 3 minutes. Well, I've got some sign language. I mean, you know, that's a form of communication, isn't it? What'll I have to do?
Well, come on, where are we going next? Because we're running out of time here.
Let's get them mounts, get that engine mounted up.
And then we've got a pig of a job taking these inlet pipes up to the water tank that's got to sit here.
Right, okay.
Do you feel any more confident, Derek?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I am.
Excellent. Right, I'm
No,
quick on
I
that.
am.
Woohoo!
At last, with the full backing of Birmingham, expert Jem is back to his best.
I wish I'd gone to them yoga lessons now. Leave it. There's a wrong nut on there.
With all that time lost to talk, the team need to knuckle down, and Derek and Cliff crack on by giving that big engine good solid foundations.
Good and proper, man.
Now, so far today, James, you've had your 50p on the aquarium crew, and then you very subtly switched it over to the Brumbrums.
Of course.
Is it still with the Brumbrums now?
No, it's now gone back once again, I'm afraid, to the aquarium crew.
It's a very mobile coin.
It is, but of course progress has been somewhat variable throughout the day.
That is true, yeah.
Beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing.
We're on, I think.
The aquarium crew's build is inherently a more performance-related design. It is very lightweight,
Yeah.
so therefore they don't need the same thrust to get the same performance as the Brumbrums need.
The amount of thrust for the Brumbrums has got to be, you know, up to 747 standards to get it rolling.
Yeah, it's got to be considerably more than the other team.
Are we at the same height, Cliff?
No, I got a great big gap.
As the pieces come together, the aquarium crew are almost in jet heaven.
Doesn't matter if 10 volts, is that oil pipe going to miss? Yes, it is.
Aquarium crew. Now, Lottie, do you feel now that you've got your head around the nuts and bolts of how it works?
I think so.
The initial sickness is gone.
The initial nausea has gone, replaced by plain desperation and misery.
Oh, Lottie!
It's going to look like this tomorrow and then go really fast down the track. So
Yeah, optimism, that's what I like.
Yeah.
Lottie's happy about it. Lottie's desperate and miserable.
I think I've been shocked that it's actually looking like it should do at this time of the day. Job done.
So with one last surge of turbocharged effort, the fish tank builders try to finish their fire-breathing rail rider.
I can't see behind me.
It's like it's a knockout. Oh, and you're doing the laughter.
With 1,000 litres of water storage lifted onto its lofty perch, the science starts to look and sound sensible.
And that'll support that ton of water quite nicely. Then that ton of water will drop into that pump, and then that pump will send it backwards, and the whole train will go forwards, fast.
Oh, Lise, the Brumbrums, it's chitty, squirt.
Mo, can you grab the other end of that?
G-jump on the track, let's see how fast it rolls.
It's going to weigh 2 tons. It's
No.
a machine that weighs 2 tons when it's loaded up.
My goodness.
It's colossal. But I mean, you can push it along, it moves along with your finger. It's very, very little pressure to move it.
That takes nothing to move it.
Absolutely nothing to move it.
In a weird way, I'm desperate for the aquarium crews to work.
If we put the afterburner on the back of it between us then, and get that on.
Lottie.
Counts down, the Brumbrums plumb in the pipes to feed water to their pumps, and the nozzles go into position.
That's it, literally 90 to that.
For the aquarium crew, it's the first part they built that's the final piece of the jigsaw, as they connect the mighty afterburner.
Look at that. That is as happy as a happy thing.
on a happy day.
Power down, please, teams. Your time is now up.
Cheers, Darren.
Tomorrow we unveil the Scrapheap Challenge high-speed test facility, where your sleds will be unleashed in all their jet-powered glory.
Well done, team.
Well done,
It is
team.
very, very special, in the nicest possible special way.
It does at least look like something.
What a day of contrasts. One team high on trust, the other deep in doubt. But both have built machines to be proud of.
Will the aquarium crew blow hot or cold when their super light jet sprinter rides the rails?
Or will the Brum Brums rain on their parade with 2 heavy-duty jets of H2O? Find out after the break.
Welcome back to Scrapheap Challenge, where both teams are frantically fiddling to finish their rail riding races.
For our test, the teams will begin at the start station.
Their opponents, West Country fish tank makers the aquarium crew, have been making their fire-breathing jet a little safer.
It is hard to imagine, James, how you could give 2 teams the same challenge and they come up with machines
come
this
up with
different.
completely different
they look like
solutions.
from different planets, different cultures. Because I've noticed there's some discussion of brakes this morning. Cause
Yes,
there were,
yes.
And I assume that was just to save them at the other end, but it doesn't sound like that's the
It's
case.
certainly partly to save them at the other end, of course, but also you can hold the vehicle on the line on the brakes,
Right.
build up the thrust, and then let the brakes off, so that you're actually accelerating under maximum thrust.
Right.
What we're going to do is put a stopper and a bungee, keep it off.
Somewhere there-ish.
Something like that.
And with the Brum Brums, it's quite interesting because the water will run through the pump all the time.
So once they've turned the valves on, the water's just coming out,
It
just
flows
dribbling out like
anyway.
a tap. Right.
So the solution they've come up with is to put bungs in the end of the nozzles. And then when they let the clutch out, it'll basically spit those out.
Right.
And then shoot off, which is quite good actually.
So they spit the bung right at the beginning.
Spit the bung.
Finish with the roller.
Well, it looks the part, if nothing else.
Now, your 50p, I've got a sneaking suspicion it's still with the aquarium crew. Am I right on that?
My money certainly.
Expert Gem primes her pumps.
Sounds like they're building up pressure now.
Engine's loading
It's
up.
really working hard, isn't it? You can really hear it.
Okay, Brum Brums, ready, steady.
Yeah.
Go on, Jem. That's brilliant.
But it really does defy the eye that it's not the engine driving, it's just the water.
Yes, yeah, certainly. Yeah,
It's got to be the
yeah.
engine on the axles, but it's not.
Did you time the first 50 metres?
Look at that. That is squirting along with hose power.
150. Oh, it's motoring.
Might just have enough water to get to the end.
Really is. Look at it go.
It just defies the eye, doesn't it? You think that cannot be moving along because there's water squirting out the back, and it really was.
It was great that they had just the right amount of water on, really.
Yes.
Because I mean, that they were running for the whole length of the run.
it was squirting
which
all
is
the way,
perfect,
wasn't it?
you
Yes.
know.
Can't believe how that's gone, can
There's
you?
a lot of power actually for them jets.
Robert Talisa, did you see that squirting baby go?
It's fantastic. It looked like a proper mad scrap machine. I loved it.
It was a slow start for the soggy speedster, but then its perfectly tuned nozzles and pumps washed away all the doubts, and their time of 47 seconds will take some beating. By the aquarium crew.
Oh, aquarium crew, this is it. Are you all jet set?
Yes.
Raring to go?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Do you have every faith in your expert?
Oh yeah, I do. I'm a bit frightened about starting it, to be honest.
Really?
But, yeah.
What's the worry with starting it?
Well, it's just got lots of hot stuff and flames and.
That could be quite dangerous if you're
Yes.
on the wrong place.
Yeah,
We're going to run these two over and he's going to get blown up by the chamber straddling the
Yeah.
Could be the last time you see us in one piece.
Crikey.
Yeah, please
No.
come back in one piece.
As they steel themselves for their run, could this be the moment that Weymouth's fish tank fraternity finally joins the jet set?
Well, I've got to admit, James, I'm a little bit tense.
Right, this engine's going on.
It's a classic scrap moment where this either could be the most
Yes.
dramatically staggering
Yes.
piece of high-speed engineering,
Yes.
or something will come along here with
or
some
maybe
smoke
not.
coming out at
Yeah.
1 mile an hour.
Yeah.
Light that afterburner.
There we go. So that roar you can hear is the afterburner.
Right.
Aquarium crew, 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh my God!
Here it comes. You can see the flame out of the back. I mean, that afterburner's really working as well.
Oh my God, he's on fire!
No, he's not. He's not.
He's not. Oh.
That's the afterburner in the bushes, then.
That was scary fast.
That was awesome, wasn't it? I had no idea.
He's the Don, isn't he?
He is the Don. He is the Don.
The jet-powered jalopy is hot stuff. Once that afterburner kicked in, there was no holding the lightweight sled back. As Nick fed in the fuel, it just kept on accelerating until that terrific plume of fire at the end. Fantastic!
And I don't know about you, Bobby, I'm still a bit shaky.
Yeah, oh, scary. But the winners this week with a time of 21 seconds are the Aquarium Crew! And if that isn't enough...
4.com/scrapheap. Tonight, the legacy from medieval times of crime and punishment. Tony Robinson's on the case at 7. After the news, which is next.